Hey, my name is Axel Gossart, and today we'll be talking about how can anybody get started on the property ladder. Now, I want to break some myth because I know how hard it is for you watching the video to look at property and kind of see it as unachievable. You're kind of looking at it and you're thinking, how am I going to get it? How am I going to be able to get started into it? And I want to reassure you, many people have been able to go through the process and you can too. So I want to debunk that myth that it is difficult to get started in property. Yes, it will cost you. And again, we'll talk about opportunity costs and the different costs that you have, that it might be your comfort or that it might be your future. But the key thing is that there's a simple steps to follow so that you can make your way day by day to owning your first home. I know you might be thinking, actually, it's going to take me multiple years to get started. But again, watch until the end of the video and I can assure you that will change your mind very quickly. Now, when I started in property, I didn't have much things. So I've been through the journey that you want to go on. And therefore, I thought to make this YouTube video so that I can share everything that I've learned, the steps that I followed, so that you can do it yourself. One of the key things that I've witnessed through my property journey is the fact that everybody actually has the resources necessary to buy a home. Now, some might have more resources than others, but it's not about the amount of resources that you have. It's about how well you manage the resource that you currently own. Are you wasting it or are you planting it? I like to use the analogy of the seed. Some people eat the seed, waste the forest, while others plant the seed and are able then to benefit from the forest that will feed them for the rest of their life. And that's pretty much how you need to see every single pound in your account. Every pound in your account is a seed. Every single second that you have in your life is a seed. And therefore, it's not about the forest, about the process of getting the seed to become the forest. And that needs to be planted, watered, looked after over a long period of time. Therefore, there's no shortcuts on how to get property the fast way, but here's the 5 steps that I followed in order to get started, buy my first property, and scale it up to where I am today. The first thing that I did was to minimize my expenses. Now, why is this so important? Remember the analogy of the seed? If you keep the seed and plant them, over time, those seeds will grow. It will take a couple of years to do so, or a couple of months, but at the end, you'll be able to reap from your labor. And so many of us actually have a lot of money going out on direct debits that we don't even know about. Some of us might be thinking that we should be spending X amount of money on food. Some I heard 300, 400, 500 pounds worth of bills on food, and they're not married and don't have any children. And they are able to say that it is necessary. Now, the truth behind it is that nothing in life is truly necessary apart from shelter, a little bit of food, and a little bit of clothes. Then the key thing that happens, especially with the expenses, is that you actually value your comfort more than you value your future. And so what happens is that you end up spending things onto what's comfortable now, but you're robbing away the future that you could have. And so the first thing that I would say to you would be to live below your means. What does that mean? It means to follow a budget, and to actually live with only 50% of your income to be able to pay for your bills, be able to pay your food, and everything that you need that is a necessity for you to live. I know you might be thinking, Axel, I spend a lot more than that, and where I live costs me a lot more than this. And that gets me to point number 2. The first thing you need to think about is that you need to locate an area that's affordable to live in. Because most of us would like to live in a certain area, but unfortunately we are unable to afford it. And remember, parable of the seed and the forest. If you eat the seed now, you will waste your forest away. And so one of the easiest way to be able to save some money is to relocate to an area that's actually a little bit cheaper. Now, for example, if you're rent, right now your bills are around £1,000 or £1,200, depending on wherever you live in the country. That might be a lot higher or a lot lower. Now, I know some of us like the comfort that we have. And remember, you either pay for comfort or you pay for your future. Pay for comfort, lose your future. Pay your future. I wouldn't say lose your comfort, but you become a little bit less comfortable compared to where you currently are. So let's say if your bills, your food and everything is actually taking more than 50% away from your salary, maybe it's time for you to start thinking, how do I reduce my expenses? What subscription can I cancel? And can you potentially move in somewhere or live somewhere that will cost you less? Because again, by doing this, you are able to free up some cash that you're able then to put forward toward your savings in order to go toward buying your first property. So then that leads me to point number 3. Point number 3 is that now you've been able to save for your house, which is diligently putting money aside on a monthly basis. The first thing you should be doing is to buy your first personal home. Why should you buy your first personal home? Well, this is because there's so many benefits in owning a house. Number one, when you're going to go and buy more properties, lenders are going to like lending to you because you own your first home or you own your own home. Number two is the fact that you need the minimum amount of deposit in order to be able to purchase your home. The UK is crafted to encourage first-time buyers to buy on the market. Number two, you're not going to pay any stamp duty. So compared to an investment property where you might be spending 5%, currently in 2025, you're going to spend 0% being a first-time buyer. So point number four, this would be to buy the worst house on the best street so that you're able to do a refurb while you live inside the property. Now, why would you want to do that? Most of the time, a property that needs a refurb is sold at a lower value because of the works that needs to happen. And so you might be able to negotiate some money off the property so that you can buy it below what it's actually worth. Now, by moving into the property and doing the refurb yourself, what you're able to do is that you're able to come into a secured environment where you own the property and you can go and do the refurb as fast or as slow as you need to do it. So if you have the money ready to do the refurb, you can do it straight away. If the money is not quite ready, then you can start prioritizing the key works to be done, and you're going to be able to learn so much through the first project because, let's be honest, you're going to make some mistakes, but those mistakes are going to be mitigated by the fact that, number one, you live inside the house, and number two, you actually don't have to be paying, rent without getting an income from an investment property because it's your own personal home. Finally, step number 5, once you've done all of this, you would have been able to increase the value of the house. You've been able to live in it for a couple of years, 1 year or 2. So now you actually can be ready to sell the house. And guess what? When you sell the house, you're able to make a good profit because you bought it with little money. You've been able to add value. You've negotiated the price down. And now you're selling it on the open market, being a beautiful product having been lived in. Now, another good thing is the fact that when you sell your personal home, you're going to pay 0% tax on the profit that you're making because it is your own personal home, which then can leave you to buy another home for yourself and then enough money to buy your first investment property. So if you're finding this helpful and you've solved some problems and you know exactly what to do on a step-by-step basis, then I would like you to like, subscribe, and share this video to someone that needs to hear it. I'm on a mission to get so many people, and especially for me personally, Christians on the property ladder. Because at the end of the day, to be able to help the world, to provide it with the help, the money, and the assistance that the people in need, we need money. And that money can be provided through a business, and I believe that business can be property for many people. So here we go. This is the end of today's video, and watch out next week for the following video.